Welcome back to another deep dive. Today we are talking about something that, honestly, it kind of challenges everything we think we know about taking care of ourselves.
It really does. It flips the whole script.
Yeah, because imagine trying to cure a physical ailment,
Yeah.
right? But not by swallowing a pill and not by changing your diet.
And definitely not by sweating it out on a treadmill.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine healing yourself by simply closing your eyes and eating an imaginary peach with an imaginary friend.
Which sounds completely wild at first.
It does, because we are so conditioned to believe that physical health requires a physical toll. You put exertion in, you get vitality out.
That's the standard equation, yeah.
But today, we are exploring a translated text that just throws that entire exhausting equation right out the window. The author is named Feng, and the concept is called Advanced Health Preservation.
Right, and our mission for this deep dive is to deconstruct this method, because it claims to literally transform your cellular chemistry using absolutely zero physical effort. You aren't lifting weights. You are supposedly lifting your own biology through pure thought.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because it forces a complete, paradigm shift in how we view the human body.
It really does. Usually we treat the mind as just a passenger riding around inside this physical vehicle.
Yeah, if the vehicle breaks down, you have to pop the hood and fix the mechanics.
Yeah.
The muscles, the diet, the joints.
Exactly. But the framework we are looking at today argues the exact opposite. It posits that the mind isn't the passenger at all. It's the sole engine.
The soul engine, wow.
Right. And critically, our focus today is to understand the step-by-step mechanics of how Feng claims you can use specific vivid illusions to bypass the physical body entirely.
And just directly rewrite your own health.
Yes, directly rewrite it.
But to even begin that process, we really have to understand the specific environment where this is all supposed to happen.
The realm of the negative universe.
Yeah, the negative universe methods, which, that phrase sounds like we are jumping straight into science fiction.
Like antimatter or alternate dimensions.
Exactly. But Feng actually defines this negative universe by what it entirely lacks.
Right.
In this method, there are absolutely no physical movements. There are no difficult postures you have to hold.
None at all.
And ultimately, it isn't supposed to rely on any tangible objects as references. It is 100% driven by what the author calls illusory images.
Which is such a fascinating linguistic choice. Right?
Oh, totally.
By calling it the negative universe, the author is setting up this direct dichotomy. You have the positive universe, which is the tangible, heavy, physical world where your body currently resides.
Complete with all its stresses and physical limitations.
And illnesses, yeah. And then you have this negative universe, which is an intangible, unseen, purely mental space.
It's basically a completely internal virtual reality.
Exactly. The text is making a very specific philosophical argument here. It says the physical body shouldn't be managed from within the physical world.
Wait, say that again.
The body shouldn't be managed from the physical world. It needs to be managed from the outside, from this mental counterpart.
Oh, I get it. It's like trying to fix a software bug by, hitting your computer monitor with a wrench.
That's a great analogy.
The physical body is just the hardware displaying the output.
Yeah.
Feng is saying you have to get into the code, the negative universe, to actually change the program.
And honestly, we already know this mechanism exists in a destructive way, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like if you lie in bed worrying about a presentation at work,
Right. Your physical heart starts racing, your palms sweat.
your stomach churns, you are using the negative universe of your imagination to create very real physical illness.
Exactly. We constantly allow our ambient, uncontrolled thoughts to dictate our physical stress responses.
So true.
And the methodology here is essentially asking, what if we weaponized that exact same mechanism, but for preservation and healing?
Wow. Yeah, if an imagined threat can release cortisol and damage the body, why couldn't an intricately structured positive illusion release restorative chemicals and heal it?
That is the core premise.
But the immediate problem with that is the intricately structured part.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you just tell someone, okay, sit still and imagine a perfectly healing environment with zero tangible references, the human brain just kind of blue screens.
It's too much cognitive load.
Yeah. Your mind wanders to what to make for dinner or, that weird noise the fridge is making.
Right.
If the rule is strictly no tangible objects, how do you even boot up this healing program?
And this is where the author introduces a very deliberate scaffolding technique.
Scaffolding, like training wheels.
Exactly. Because despite the strict definition of the negative universe lacking physical references, Shifeng's brief guide actually starts with a highly tangible instruction.
Yeah, you are told to hang a painting of a splendid landscape indoors.
Which I know threw you off when we first read it.
It felt like a massive contradiction. I mean, in paragraph 1, we are told this relies on no tangible objects.
Right.
And then in paragraph 2, we are told to go out, acquire a physical piece of art, and hang it on a physical wall.
It seems backwards.
But the text is very rigid about what needs to be in this painting. You aren't hanging up modern, abstract art.
No, it has very specific requirements.
It specifically requires birds in flight, verdant mountains, flowing rivers, and houses faintly visible through the mist.
It is a very classic, almost archetypal, serene image. But you are right to question the contradiction. Why the physical painting?
Yeah, why?
Well, if we look closely at the effort required to build an entire universe from scratch in your mind, it's immense.
Oh, for sure. Most people can't even hold an image of an apple in their head for 10 seconds.
Exactly. So the painting serves as a bridge. It feeds your brain the initial raw data.
Like the precise shade of green on the mountains.
Yes, the colors, the dynamic concept of the birds in flight, the specific curvature of the rivers.
It's basically outsourcing the heavy lifting of creation so you can focus on the actual exercise.
Right, because the exercise isn't just staring at the canvas.
No, the text instructs you to observe the painted birds and then imagine them breaking out of the static image.
Soaring into the sky.
Yeah, and then in your mind, you have to follow them. You project your consciousness out of your living room, past the frame of the painting, and you ride along with those birds.
Over the mountains and rivers toward a distant, serene place.
Right. You are using the physical object to establish a trajectory.
Precisely. The artist has already provided the geometry and the color palette. Your only job is to provide the motion.
You are teaching your brain the sensation of movement within an unmoving body.
And once your mind grasps that feeling, once it can hold the details of that serene landscape without the artist's help, the scaffolding can be removed.
Meaning you literally take the painting down.
You take it down.
The physical anchor is temporary. You imprint the scenery permanently into your memory, and you internalize the illusion completely. The training wheels are off.
But you don't just sit there looking at an empty mental room.
No, you step inside the illusion. The text explicitly tells you that once this landscape is inside your head, you can enhance and modify it as you wish.
You step out of the role of the observer and become the architect.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It's like turning on God mode in an open-world video game.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Because notice how the instructions shift from passive observation to intense active participation. You are instructed to place yourself directly within the scene.
You aren't just watching the birds anymore.
Right, you are functioning within their environment. The source suggests resting in a tranquil spot, swimming in the gently flowing river.
Or flying over majestic peaks to marvel at nature.
The flying is the part that really highlights the negative universe aspect for me.
How so?
Because you aren't simulating reality anymore. You are purposefully breaking the rules of the positive universe. In the physical world, gravity grounds you. In this mental sandbox, you can fly.
And the text gets so specific and vibrant here, it's not just a solitary retreat.
No, the text encourages you to bring your closest friends along into this imagination.
You explore together.
Yeah, and you pick and eat what the author calls divine peaches and fruits.
That inclusion of sensory and social details is vital for understanding the mechanism.
It really is.
By instructing you to taste a divine peach, to feel the water of the flowing river, to interact with loved ones, the text is essentially demanding a multi-sensory immersion.
It isn't merely a visual meditation.
Exactly. The deeper the sensory involvement in the illusion, the more real it becomes to the central nervous system.
And the most surprising instruction, the one that completely shatters the stereotype of the silent, stoic meditator.
Oh, the shouting.
Yes. The text says you can shout freely or sing loudly in this imagined space. You are flying over a majestic peak with your friends, eating a divine peach and just screaming your lungs out in your own head.
Which is actually a profound exercise in psychological liberation.
Wait, really?
Think about the friction of our daily existence in the physical universe. We are bound by social contracts, by literal gravity, by physical limitations.
And by the constant policing of our own emotions.
Exactly. You can't just shout freely in a crowded office or a grocery store.
Definitely not.
So by constructing a flawless, consequence-free environment and explicitly instructing the practitioner to sing or shout, the author is providing a release valve for that ambient pressure.
It is a space entirely devoid of friction.
A frictionless environment, yes.
That concept makes the next leap the text takes much easier to grasp, though it is still a massive leap.
It is the biggest leap in the text.
Because up to this point, you could just categorize this as a really creative, highly immersive form of stress relief.
Like a guided daydream.
Right. But Zoe Feng doesn't stop at psychological liberation. The author makes an incredibly bold assertion here.
That engaging in this completely internal, frictionless illusion triggers literal chemical changes in your physical body.
Yes. This is the crux of the text philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
It moves from mental wellness to sweeping physiological claims.
It states unequivocally that through this process, your ailments will fade.
Just fade away.
And it claims your internal organs, your blood flow, and your body's energy pathways will naturally and harmoniously align.
It even caps it off by asserting your overall immunity, your literal biological ability to resist physical illness, will improve significantly. I have to admit, when I hit that paragraph, I had to stop and reread it.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is. So what does this all mean? Drawing a line from, I imagine eating a really good piece of fruit, to my cardiovascular system is now harmoniously aligned, is a staggering claim.
It demands that we completely erase the boundary between a thought and a physical reality.
Yeah. How is the text justifying the idea that a daydream can realign internal organs?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, to understand the author's logic, we have to go back to the idea of the mind as the master control room. The brain is locked inside a dark skull. It doesn't actually see the outside world. It relies entirely on the signals the mind feeds it.
So it's flying blind, basically.
Essentially, if we use an analogy, imagine the brain as a master conductor of an incredibly complex chemical orchestra.
Oh, I like this. Your endocrine system, your immune system, your organs.
Exactly. The conductor is up on the podium, ready to direct the body.
But the conductor can't see the audience and they can't see the concert hall.
Right. They only know the sheet music placed in front of them.
Okay, wow.
In our normal, stressful lives, the sheet music is full of anxiety, deadlines, and environmental friction.
So the conductor directs the orchestra to play a harsh, tense symphony.
Exactly. It pumps cortisol, it constricts blood vessels, it elevates heart rates.
But in this negative universe method, you are deliberately swapping out the sheet music.
You are.
You are handing the conductor a score that says, we are swimming in a gentle river, we are surrounded by friends, we are eating divine peaches, and there is zero danger.
And the conductor, the brain, doesn't know the difference between a rehearsed score and a live performance.
It just reads the sheet music of the illusion.
And it directs the orchestra accordingly. It releases endorphins, it slows the heart rate, it relaxes the smooth muscle tissue around the internal organs, optimizing blood flow.
So when the text claims your organs naturally and harmoniously align, it is describing the biological state of a body that has been entirely convinced by its mind that it exists in a state of absolute safety and perfection.
That is precisely the mechanism.
So the healing isn't magic.
No, not at all.
It's the physical body defaulting to its optimal regenerative state, because the negative universe has successfully muted all the alarms of the positive universe.
If you exist in the illusion long enough, the chemistry of the illusion becomes the chemistry of your blood.
It's almost like a self-administered, highly advanced placebo effect, but without needing a sugar pill as the prop.
The illusion is the pill.
The illusion is the pill. It is an incredible framework to analyze. But just as the author finishes explaining this profound mechanism,
Right.
just as we reach the peak of what this practice can theoretically achieve, like boosting your immunity and curing ailments just by flying over an imaginary mountain, the text executes one of the most abrupt turns I have ever seen in a guide like this.
Yes, the author employs a very distinct rhetorical device right at the climax of the explanation.
Right after promising these massive physiological benefits, the text says, and I quote, "Beyond that, you may even," and then it just stops.
A literal cliffhanger.
It leaves the thought completely unfinished. And then Sofing immediately pulls back, stating that this has merely been a brief introduction to advanced health preservation.
And it explicitly restricts access to the rest of the information.
I couldn't believe it when I read that.
The text clarifies that whatever lies beyond that unfinished sentence, the deeper, more profound teachings, are reserved solely for those engaged in advanced spiritual practice and cultivation.
Only for the inner circle. It's the classic esoteric velvet rope. It's an incredible structural choice. I mean, it's like a movie trailer that cuts to black right before the ultimate reveal.
It really is.
You give the reader the blueprint to literally alter their blood chemistry with their mind, and then you say, but wait, that's just the beginner stuff.
It's almost infuriating, but you have to admire the effectiveness of that kind of gatekeeping.
Why hold back the ultimate benefits of health preservation, though?
Well, it's a very common trope in esoteric and spiritual texts, and it serves a very specific purpose.
Okay.
By deploying that cliffhanger, the author completely recontextualizes everything we just discussed.
How do you mean?
If aligning your organs and boosting your immunity is framed as merely a preliminary stepping stone, it elevates the entire practice.
Oh, I see.
It tells the reader that this mental visualization is not just a neat wellness trick or a biological hack.
It frames it as a preliminary step into a much larger, more exclusive spiritual journey.
Precisely. It transitions the text from a health manual into a spiritual invitation.
It turns it into an initiation. Like, if you can't master the landscape painting, if you can't build a frictionless sandbox and generate the healing chemistry, you aren't ready for whatever comes next.
You have to prove yourself.
The health benefits are just the entry fee to prove you have control over your own consciousness.
It challenges the practitioner to commit to that advanced cultivation if they want to see the true limits of the negative universe.
Well, for you listening, let's just recap the journey of this deep dive.
It's been quite a path.
Yeah, we started with the desire to preserve health without the heavy, tangible exertion of the physical world.
Moving away from the treadmill.
Right. We explored how Xu shifts the burden entirely to the mind, utilizing the negative universe where zero physical effort is required.
And then we looked at the training wheels.
Yeah, how a physical landscape painting of verdant mountains and flying birds serves as the necessary scaffolding, the raw data our brain needs to start the process.
Before removing that physical anchor entirely.
Exactly. Stepping into a limitless mental sandbox where we can fly. Sing loudly to release the friction of reality, and share divine peaches with friends.
And most importantly, the core mechanism.
Breaking down how the brain acts as a blind conductor, translating those vivid, frictionless illusions into literal chemical changes.
Naturally aligning the organs and boosting immunity.
All before the author pulls the curtain closed for anyone who isn't an advanced practitioner.
It is a meticulously structured sequence of ideas. And, while the text ultimately pivots toward spiritual exclusivity, I think there is a critical, universally applicable insight hidden within its core mechanism.
I agree. What's your biggest takeaway from it?
Well, we discussed how the brain doesn't know the difference between the reality of the physical world and the reality of the mind. It simply responds chemically to the images it is fed.
Right. The conductor just plays the sheet music in front of them.
Exactly. So if we take Xu methodology seriously, if deliberately holding an image of a serene river and a divine peach can command our biology to heal and align, what does that imply about the ambient, unexamined thoughts we allow to loop in our heads every single day?
Oh, wow.
We are constantly operating within the negative universe, often without realizing it. Every time we replay a stressful argument, every time we visualize a worst-case scenario, we are feeding our conductor sheet music.
We are using the exact same mechanism, just in reverse.
We are.
We are building a stressful illusion and forcing our physical biology to pay the chemical toll.
So the most vital takeaway from this text isn't necessarily whether you want to pursue advanced spiritual cultivation.
No, it's much more immediate than that.
The question you have to ask yourself right now is this. If the negative universe of your mind is constantly dictating your body's chemistry, what kind of world are you building in your own mental sandbox right now?
That is a lot to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.